Isn't it fascinating how every choice, every step, every action, no matter how small, creates a ripple, gently unfolding in your future? And as you begin to notice this, perhaps it becomes clear that life is always giving you signs, patterns emerging, weaving themselves together, whispering softly, telling you a story that was always there, just waiting for you to hear it. Because you already know, don't you? When someone plants a seed in fertile soil and nurtures it, a beautiful tree eventually grows. But when that seed is left untended, it withers, unnoticed, forgotten. It's a natural process, isn't it? The outcomes are always there, waiting, shaped by the small actions that we take every day. And you can begin to notice how life does this too. Imagine for a moment a path, winding gently through a forest. Every step you take takes you somewhere new. But where you end up, that destination, was determined long before. The moment you even took that first step, the direction was set, because knowing where you're going changes how you walk. Everything becomes intentional, almost effortless. The so-called random event begins to align, falling into place like a piece of a puzzle, because your unconscious already knows the picture is being formed. And this is true in every part of life. If someone ignores their body's signals, it'll speak louder, through fatigue, tension, illness, until it's heard. If someone suppresses their emotions, those feelings, they don't disappear. They simply find a new way to be expressed. Sometimes as stress, sometimes as heaviness, sometimes as a quiet voice inside, asking to be acknowledged. But every choice we make is like a stone tossed into a pond, and the ripples, they always come back. And isn't it interesting how you could begin to see those ripples long before they touch the shore? The future whispering back to the present. If someone overeats, the body will respond. If someone never rests, the mind will demand it. If someone chases pleasure without purpose, they find themselves drifting, searching for meaning. It's not punishment. It's just how the dance of life works. Everything balancing itself out. Every action leading somewhere. Every cause with its effect. And yet, what's truly magical is in any moment, you can change the direction of that story. New choices, new actions, new beliefs. Just as easily as you can step on a different path and discover an entirely new direction. So, what if you knew the outcome you wanted? What if you could feel it, see it, hear it deep inside? Because when you know where you're going, every step naturally aligns with that outcome. You start noticing the small things, the habits that build you up or break you down, the thoughts that lift you or pull you in another direction. And suddenly the journey becomes clear. The so-called random events, they aren't random at all. They're signs, signals, each one pointing their way, guiding you towards the inevitable. And as you hear these words now, you may already begin to notice how true it is. How cause and effect are always connected. How patterns reveal themselves when you pay attention. How the outcomes we experience, they're simply reflections of the choices we've made. And maybe, just maybe, we're already seeing new possibilities. Realizing how easy it is to adjust, to shift, to step into a new version of yourself. Because every belief that you adopt shapes your reality. Every thought plants a seed. And the seeds you choose today, they'll become the life you step into tomorrow. So the question is, what kind of garden are you growing? Because it's curious, isn't it, how life unfolds quietly at first. Like the soft turning of a page in a book you didn't even recognize you were writing. And yet every choice, every thought, every breath becomes another word, another sentence, leading you towards a chapter that's just waiting for you all along. Because patterns, those invisible forces, they're always working behind the scenes, connecting moments, weaving experiences. Sometimes they whisper, sometimes they shout, but they're always there, offering clues about what's coming next. When you pay attention, you start to notice. Nothing just happens. Everything is part of something bigger. Some people might call it luck or fate or coincidence. But you know better, don't you? You know life has a rhythm, a flow, a cause that always leads to an effect. It's not random, it never was. So imagine for a moment, you're standing at the edge of a great river. You can see the water moving gently downstream, and the river knows exactly where it's going. It always has. Every twist, every turn, every tiny current, guiding it effortlessly forward toward the sea. And just like that river, your life has a direction too, a flow, a natural momentum that's shaped by every decision, every thought, every belief you carry. If you step into that flow and trust it, amazing things begin to happen. You start to see the connections. You notice how each moment prepares you for the next, how everything is perfectly aligned. If only you allow yourself to notice. But when you resist the flow, when you fight against it, trying to force things, trying to connect every outcome, life pushes back. The river becomes turbulent. The current feels overwhelming. And yet, the moment you let go, everything changes. Because you already have the tools you need. You always did. It's just sometimes we forget. Forget how powerful we are. Forget how easily we can change the story. If someone spends all their time chasing the wrong things, life has a way of reminding them what truly matters. If someone neglects their health, the body always speaks, first in whispers, then in louder voices. If someone focuses on themselves, they eventually realize how lonely that road becomes. And these are not punishments. They're simply gentle reminders, course corrections, nudges from life itself, guiding you back to the path that was always yours. And as you hear these words now, you might start to wonder, how many moments like that have already shaped you? Moments when life sent you a signal and you listened. Or perhaps you missed it then, but you're noticing it now. Because it's not about getting it perfect. It's about noticing, paying attention, realizing every belief you hold creates a new possibility. Every thought shapes your future. And maybe you're beginning to sense it. That deep knowing inside you, quietly awakening, a feeling and understanding that everything you've been searching for is already here. You just need to turn your attention to it. Isn't it interesting how easily things can change once you do? When you know where you're going, the road ahead becomes clear. The random events, they aren't random at all. They're stepping stones, guides, lights along the path. Because your unconscious mind has always been listening, learning, adapting, taking in every experience, every lesson, storing it away until the perfect moment. This moment to bring it all together. And now you can begin to see. Every setback was preparation, every challenge a gift, every choice a chance to realign, to step back into the flow. It's like a dance. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. But when you trust the rhythm, everything falls into place. And as these words settle deeper inside you, it surprises you how natural it feels to let go of what no longer serves you, to embrace the patterns that lift you higher, to step into the life you've always were meant to live. Because the truth is, you were never lost. You were always exactly where you needed to be, and now you're ready for what comes next. So as you stand at the edge of your next chapter, what will you choose to create?